is also working on a plan to use $200 billion worth of seized Russian assets in Europe to rebuild Ukraine. While the EU can't spend the money itself, it can heavily tax any profits or interest garnered by the funds since they were seized. That money will then be sent to help Ukraine rebuild after the war. Alex Cadier, Brussels.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Joe Biden will discuss trade and investment at a bilateral meeting on Thursday. There will be a particular focus on defense deals and cutting-edge technology. Ishan Garg has more from New Delhi.
One of the biggest outcomes expected from this meeting is a defense partnership framework. Reports say the US is ready to share drones and critical jet engine technologies with India in a big boost to New Delhi's defense capabilities. The areas of critical and emerging technologies, which include artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and space exploration, are also likely to be discussed. Analysts are calling this a landmark moment between India and the US. They say as both nations share an interest in countering China's influence, there are multiple avenues for deeper cooperation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also address a joint sitting of the US Congress, which will be followed by a ceremonial state dinner. Ishan Garg, New Delhi.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, what to make of the Hunter Biden plea deal. The US president's son reached agreement with prosecutors over investigations into his tax affairs and also into falsehoods that he told when applying for a gun license in the United States. Hunter Biden has been a lightning rod for Republican criticism, with persistent, entirely unsubstantiated claims advanced by former President Donald Trump that the Bidens are an organized crime family. Niall Stanage is a columnist with The Hill, the newspaper all about Capitol Hill in Washington.
Anytime Hunter Biden is in the headlines, that is bad for Joe Biden. Hunter Biden's a controversial figure. He had a big deal with a Eastern European gas company, Burisma, which is very controversial in itself. At one stage, he was on a retainer for about $50,000 a month, despite not having any specialist knowledge in that area. There's a whole sort of cloud of suspicion that hangs over Hunter Biden, and therefore that is a problem for Joe Biden. Having said all that, the most likely opponent for Mr. Biden is former President Trump, who is himself facing criminal charges in two separate cases.
President Biden on Tuesday said he was very proud of his son, but he knows that Hunter Biden will remain a target for Republicans. They claim the president's son has been treated far more leniently by the Department of Justice than Donald Trump, despite the vast differences in the cases against the two men. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, around 96 hours have elapsed since the submersible Titan went missing, bringing the vessel to the end of its estimated oxygen supply. The European Union has announced its latest round of sanctions against Russia after months of internal negotiations. And Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will discuss trade and investment at a meeting with Joe Biden. That's the latest feature story news. Julia Chapman reporting.
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong?
I'm Dan.
I'm TL, and we're from Blue Suede Connection.
And we're excited to be part of the KCHW family.
Bringing you 2 hours of Elvis and fun every week.
Join us every Saturday at 7 p.m. right here on 102.7 KCHW.
We are your Blue Suede Connection.
I'm all shook up.
Hey, baby.
Good morning. It's your KCHW morning show with Scott Allen and Chuck Ritchie. How you doing today, Scott?
Doing great, Chuck. How about you?
Good, good. It's a little chilly out there coming to work this morning.
You got a nice one on tap, though. Mostly sunny skies. Going to stay with you. 76 for a high today. Clear skies tonight, down to 49. Did you get to see the little planetary alignment last night? Did you happen to stick your head outside?
I did. We were driving home from the grocery store and we stopped for like 20 minutes and stared at it. It was it was amazing.
It was.
Venus was like a flashlight. It was so bright.
We got lucky here in Maine too, because it's been cloudy for like the past 6 days, and it cleared off yesterday afternoon. We had a nice sunny day and got to check out the planetary alignment last night too.
Yeah.
And much like you, get to enjoy a few days of nice weather. So you're 76 today for a high, 83 tomorrow with sunshine, 82 on Saturday, but you'll have a few clouds roll in to make partly cloudy skies. That'll hang with you through Saturday with a high, Sunday with a high of 82 as well. So both Saturday and Sunday, partly cloudy. There is a 15% chance of maybe a little rain passing through on Saturday. Monday right now, 83 and 55, some more of the same. And next week in the mid to upper 80s for you folks in Stevens County. Breakfast and lunch for the kids. Of course, we're on the summer breakfast program. Now, today, you can get out and support that program. It's called the Tasty Program, and that feeds kids for the summer. The group that puts together the Tasty Program, the Faith Resources Group, having a silent auction at the Quartzsite Brewery from 3 to 7 today. So if you got a few extra coins in your pocket, swing by and support the summer breakfast program. Today, they have a variety of breads for breakfast, fresh fruit, and their choice of milk. And then for lunch today, it's flatbread, kind of pizza style with marinara sauce, string cheese. They also get some carrots, some sunflower seeds, and some fresh fruit, and their choice of milk once again. But get to the silent auction there between 3 and 7. If you want more details, we had Susan Greep on last week. Was that Friday, Chuck?
I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to check out one of our videos on YouTube or Facebook, you can catch the rebroadcast of that. Turning our heads sideways for the morning funnies. I was thinking last night, Chuck, what could you do this weekend that might be a little outrageous and a little fun? And I came up with fun things to do at a Walmart, any Walmart. So if you're one of those folks that maybe like Ron that listens to the morning show on Facebook from across the state, there's a Walmart near you, I'm sure.
You know the funnest thing that I like to do at Walmart that you can't do here at ours, the closest by one, is the 3 a.m. Walmart trip. And people watch. Because that is the most hilarious time to go to Walmart.
Are you more of, like, if you had your choice, would you be a nighttime shopper?
I like shopping at night. There's less people, and it's much more entertaining.
That's the way I am, too.
Yeah.
Even when I lived in Chihuahua, I didn't go to the grocery store till 10 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're right. Sometimes there is some entertainment factors there.
And then you're the one that they're all checking their clock and saying, come on, and you've got $300 worth of groceries in your cart.
Yeah. They always look at you funny if you like get there and it's like 10 before the end of their hour. You can just see the sigh in the employee's eyes, like, oh, look at this guy. Oh. All right, so some fun things to do at Walmart this weekend. Me and Chuck going to go back and forth on this. First one I have, Chuck, taking shopping carts for the express purpose of filling them and then stranding them at strategic locations around the store.
It's job security.
It is. I'm just helping.
You can set all the alarm clocks to go off at 10-minute intervals throughout the day. Ooh.
They might catch you on camera trying to set that up, but I'd try. Just act like you're really checking out all their features.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do, really? Are they going to ban you from the store?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I've actually done this one. Stare and grin at another customer for a while and then tell them, I've got new socks on.
I do that generally. I mean, new socks are great. You can contaminate the entire auto department by sampling all of the air spray fresheners.
Oh, they give me an asthma attack.
Oh, yikes.
Redress the mannequins as you see fit.
Do they still have mannequins? I don't know.
Yeah. This one might come up again. I don't know if I saw it on this list, but it also said move all the lingerie to the men's department.
It's the new men's line.
Yes.
Thank you, Martha Stewart. When there are people behind you, walk really, really slow, especially in thin, narrow aisles.
Yes, stop and look and smell things.
That's what I do on the road when people are tailgating me. I just go slower and slower and slower.
I think this next one would be a great experiment. Walk up to one of the employees in Walmart in an official tone, say, "I think we've got a code 3 in housewares," and see what they do.
I have no idea what a code 3 is, though.
I don't know either.
Walk
it
up
could
to
be something good.
walk up to complete strangers and say, "Hi, I haven't seen you in so long," or etc., to see if they play along or to avoid embarrassment.
Oh.
I have done that, not on purpose, but I have done that accidentally. And then people will just continue a conversation, and halfway through the conversation, I actually don't even know who you are.
You could also walk up and go, "I just saw your mom, and man, she is not looking well."
Oh.
Maybe.
Wow.
Sorry. I'll skip that idea.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. While walking through the clothing department, ask yourself loud enough for everyone to hear, who buys this crap anyway?
I do that anyway. Repeat number 14 in the jewelry department.
Ooh. Chuck once rode a display bicycle through the store, claiming he was taking it for a test drive.
Isn't that just part of the Walmart shopping experience, though?
It
Right?
is.
Follow people through the aisles, always staying about 5 feet away, and continue to do this until they leave the department.
That's creepy. Dun, 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 dun. I tried to convince Marianne, and in hindsight, she was right. But when we were flying back from Chihuahua, we were flying to Chihuahua. I tried to convince her. We were somewhere, and they had like 3.5, 4 foot long giant fish. And I told her, I said, let's buy these giant fish pillows and take them as our carry-ons. And I said, in that way, like when we're putting stuff in the bins, we like swing around and pop people in the head with our fish tails and just be really obnoxious. But she wouldn't go for it.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, where were we? Oh.
I think we're at soccer.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Play soccer with a group of friends using the entire store as your playing field.
I like that one. That's awesome.
I've done,
you can make up teams and have special team names.
Yeah. Like the big, like the really soft inflatable ones that are in the bins with the elastic, We played volleyball blind volleyball on other sides of the aisle. That one's always fun.
Put M&Ms on layaway?
Yeah.
Huh? I think I stole yours, sorry.
Oh, no. I just did the last two. No, and that goes back to number 10, which is repeat number 14 in the jewelry department.
Okay. All right.
Call out group hug and then implement it.
Ooh, I like that one too. Yeah. You can set up a tent in the camping department and tell others you'll only invite them in if they bring pillows from the bed and bath department.
Test the fishing rods and see what you can catch from the other aisles. Put a cookie.
Sorry, sir. Is this yours? Ask customers if they have any Grey Poupon.
TP as much of the store as possible.
Ooh, that'll get you in trouble.
I have made a TP throne though, with all the stacks of the TP, and then you make like a nice little chair and you sit there to rest. Yep.
Oh, you could like go bowling with toilet paper rolls or something.
Oh, that's the individual paper towel rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that one. Okay.
Randomly throw things into the neighboring aisles. That's like your volleyball.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's not cans of corn. You know what you could do, though? You could launch a can of corn over to the other aisle and just yell, Trebuchet!
Do it with something soft.
Okay, pillows. So that yeah. Incoming! All right.
When someone asks if you need help, begin to cry and ask, why won't you people just leave me alone?
Come here. Or when 2 or 3 people are walking ahead of you, run between them yelling, Red Rover, Red Rover.
Make up nonsense products and ask newly hired employees if there are any in stock. An example, do you have any Schnurpies here?
I think it says Schnurples, which I like a little better.
Schnurples. Any purple Schnurples?
Take an entire aisle in toys. Take it up an entire aisle in toys by setting up a full-scale battle with G.I. Joes versus the X-Men.
Oh, I like that. Don't take it out of the package or ruin the value.
That's true.
Nonchalantly test the brushes and combs and cosmetics. No. No. Have you ever wondered how many people have done that with the stuff you buy?
Indoor shopping cart races.
Ooh, I like that one. That's good.
It's kind of like the soccer thing.
That's good. I think most people have done that one too, haven't they? I hope so.
Do you think women actually like test the cosmetics and put it on their face?
I really hope not. I
hope
bet some
not,
do.
too.
Well, I don't think they do it anymore, but they used to have like the test cosmetics that were like open and available for people to use.
COVID cosmetics.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't do that anymore after COVID. So there were positives. Dart around suspiciously while humming the theme from Mission Impossible. I like it.
Okay. Attempt to fit into very large gym bags. And then if that doesn't work, attempt to fit others into very large gym bags. That's creepy. I love it.
Say things like, would you be so kind as direct me to your Twinkies?
I don't know. All right, Marion just posted she actually has ridden bikes in the Colville Walmart. Nice.
Same.
Who is it? Yeah, I think it's me. No, it's you.
Okay, set up a valet parking sign in front of the store.
In the auto department, practice your Madonna look with various funnels.
I think anyone who went to a Walmart in the 90s has done that at one point or another.
I'm sure. Any guy that's picked up a road cone has done that.
Right? When someone steps away from their cart to look at something, quickly make off with it without saying a word. Oh, that's a good way to get yourself punched in the face.
Walk up to a Walmart employee and say, "Can I help you?"
And follow them around relentlessly.
Yes.
Walk around the store with an empty book saying it's a guest book and get people to sign it. I actually like that one.
I do. That's like it was one of those movies. They were rudely funny. It was like movie 42. It was one of those types of movies. I don't know if it was 42. And the guy is in a Jewish grocery store trying to get people to sign his petition. And when they read the petition, they're apologizing for killing Jesus. It does not go over well. It's a great video.
Wow.
It's like a candid camera thing. So
wow. I just think of standing there with a book in front of Walmart going, "Welcome to Walmart. I love you."
Another thing you can do is walk around the store with stickers that say radioactive and put them randomly on food items.
Especially in the state of California.
Yes. And you get those stickers from the back of smoke detectors, just saying.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Set all the alarm clocks to go off at 10-minute intervals throughout the day. Didn't we already do that one?
I think you did.
Yeah.
But you could paddle walk all the carts together.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that could get expensive.
Right?
All right.
Just get the bike locks and do a bunch at a time.
Oh, there you go. Save money.
Or visit the hardware section and get yourself a nice long chain.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like that.
I think let's see. Go to the customer service page and page. Oh, this is good. Go to customer service page yourself. Slip away. Come back 5 minutes later and say you were paged. Repeat until they ask you to leave.
I like that one. Try flying a kite that's tied to that bicycle you're riding.
Marion.
There you go. I
like this one.
I like throwing a twist into that. That's clever.
Throw Skittles at people and scream, "Taste the rainbow!"
You can ask if they have co-ed changing rooms.
Ooh. You could make a conga line and see how many people will join you.
That one's not bad. I like that one. And last but not least, stick a price tag on yourself and sit on a shelf.
Woo!
I've always liked the random grab a pillow or grab two pillows and then randomly throw a pillow to somebody and start a pillow fight. I like that one.
That's good too.
That one's good.
You know what I do when I go to McDonald's? I love the breakfast burritos.
Mm-hmm.
And they always come with a sticker on them for some reason that says sausage. And I peel that off and I stick it on my shirt until someone gay goes, "Hey, you've got a sticker on you that says sausage," and I can go, "I know." And it works. I mean, at some point during the day, I've worn them almost a whole day. Somebody will go, "You've got a sausage sticker on you."
Thank you.
All right. Let's move along this morning before we get ourselves in any more trouble. All right. Let's see here, Chuck. I got a few news headlines that I grabbed.
Okay.
And then we'll swing around and catch some community events. First thing, though, I wanted just to bring up as discussion. I'm curious what your opinion is about the people that they've been searching for in the bottom of the ocean in the Titan submersible.
Oh man, I can't help but imagine myself in there and how absolutely terrifying that would be.
I couldn't get in it because I'm too claustrophobic in the first place. But they're saying they're about out of oxygen, but they keep hearing tapping sounds and can't find it. So
right.
That's tragic. I am kind of torn though in this, and I don't want to sound heartless and stuff. But these people that crawled into a contraption, which by reports I've been reading online from other people that have been in it, and one person who refused to go down in it, that it looks like it's piecemealed together. It doesn't look professional.
Right.
It's ran with now it's been like upgraded with an Xbox controller.
Yeah, like a cheap
they can tell there was used construction equipment inside the tube.
It's not even an Xbox controller. It's like a cheap, generic, like a $20 off-brand controller.
So I guess my thing is here is, and especially when they first came out, now they've stopped, but they were really like giving bad reports to the United States government because we weren't sending assets to the area. I mean, we have the Coast Guard, right? But we weren't sending, like they were saying, there was a nuclear vessel we could send.
Right.
And taking heat over that. But these people willingly crawled into what I'm going to, from everything I've read online, a contraption.
Right.
Built by amateurs.
Right.
And decided to go down in the ocean and paid $250,000 each for it.
Right.
I'd say at that point, you have taken your life in your own hands. And I don't necessarily agree with, I mean, if it was me in the tube, yeah, I would want them to come rescue me. But I don't necessarily agree with the massive unloading of resources from multiple countries trying to rescue these people who probably shouldn't have been in that thing in the first place.
Right. Right. Yeah. And the company that is running that is, oh my goodness, what an absolute disgusting display of a money grab for that submersible was only rated for like half the depth that the Titanic is at, and they're bringing paying customers down. There's no proper locator. There's no communications. There's no proper bathroom, and nothing was set up properly on that thing to be able to handle that, what they were doing.
So Josh Gates from Expedition Unknown considered dedicating an episode this is a story I'm reading to his Discovery Plus docuseries to the mysteries of the sunken Titanic. But after trying out OceanGate's Titan sub, decided on a hard pass, he says. As research for the 5 people in the company's Titan submersible enters its 4th day in oxygen, the hope for that running out, Gates tweeted, "I had the unique opportunity to dive in OceanGate." He continued to say to those asking, hashtag Titan, "It did not perform well on my dive. Ultimately, I walked away from the huge opportunity to film the Titanic due to my safety concerns." There's more to history and the design of the Titan that has not been public, and much of it, he says, is concerning. He also shared his hopes that his friends and billionaires on the I don't even want to call it a submersible now, says that I pray for positive outcomes. He says, while much of discourse on social media and the TV has shown a measured sympathy for the billionaires who coughed up $250,000 each, he said, to those questioning why people would dive to Titanic, the ship has fascinated the world since the night she sank. It's a time capsule to another era of our history, and it takes courage to make a trip like that. He said, admiration and prayers for them. But he did say that he was too scared to go down in the submersible. that it did not seem safe to him.
Right.
Another person also was making comments that when they attempted to go down, they multiple times, and this person had said he'd been on it 5 times.
Wow.
But commented that he only had to pay $125,000. But he said that every time he took it, there was some kind of an electrical problem once they had to turn back, and that during their 8-hour tour, 5-hour tour, whatever it is, that multiple times and for hours at a time, they would not be able to communicate to the surface.
Wow.
So it sounds like there's been a history of problems with this too. Scary the fact too that you get bolted inside of it and you can't. There's no escape hatch. There's no way to get out. There's no escape craft like the sci-fi movies.
Right. Yeah. The whole thing is terrifying and just it shouldn't. The whole thing could have been prevented.
It sure has captured everyone's attention though. Moving along this morning, a new flag for Washington State. That's right. Official start of summer is here, and Washington has the most expensive gas in the country, even beating California. Congratulations, Washington.
Yeah. As a Prius driver, who's laughing now? Huh?
Yeah. And a special round of applause for our governor who has gouged us to death. It's his fault. He did this. Just saying. Oh, your extra gas taxes and these carbon credits, these invisible things they have to trade. All right. Washington State has jumped by 32 cents over the past month to $4.93 a gallon. Just as a comparison, here where I am in Lincoln, Maine, $3.50. All right. At $4.93, it's 7 cents ahead of California, which is notorious for its high prices. California had held the unwanted title of America's most expensive state for gas for roughly 95% of the time over the past few years. Prior to the past few days, Washington has never been the most expensive state for gas, going back to 2005. That's according to Gas Buddy. It is also the first time that the time span that the Pacific Northwest state topped both California and Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah. Even though Washington has hit the highest average price, gas stations near major California cities are still charging heavily for gas. 8 of the top 10 metro areas in America with the highest price at the pump are located in California. Still, some drivers in Washington are paying well over $5 a gallon. In King County, where Seattle is located, average for regular gas is $5.09. According to AAA. Washington State's average gas price is nearly $2 a gallon, above that of America's cheapest state for fuel, Mississippi, which is $3.01 per gallon right now.
Wow.
They must have zero gas tax.
Right. Wow. That's, yeah. I'm even getting nervous in my Prius at those prices.
If you want to feel a little better, good news, Americans are paying a lot less for gas than the first day of summer last year, even in Washington, where the average was $5.54 a gallon.
Wow.
National average $3.58, down $1.39 from this point last year. So things a little bit better there. And for the folks that live in Spokane, it's awful convenient, I bet, to drive to the state line.
No, don't do that. Right?
Yeah. That's, all of the politicians in Olympia let this happen. They let this happen to us. They did it. All right. The DNA collected from a knife sheath found at the scene of the quadruple murder of 4 University of Idaho students last fall is said to be a statistical match to the accused killer, Brian Koberg. In a June 16th motion for protective order, Idaho prosecutors revealed that a STR DNA comparison was performed between a cheek swab collected from the 28-year-old and the sheath found partially face down and partially under one of the 4 victims. DNA was at least 5.37 octillion times more likely to belong to Kohlberg than anybody else. 5.37 octillion times. Now, I know it's guilty. I mean, innocent until proven guilty. But have you seen those dark eyes, or is it just me?
I don't think I've seen him.
Oh, he's got those. One thing I've always noticed, if you take serial killers, like when Time Magazine lined them all up on their cover, they all, to me, and this is just to me, they all have the same darkness of soul look in their eyes. They all look dark. It looks like they have black eyes, and he's got the same thing. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Right. You say
I'm not
that as I'm looking at the Mr. Cage behind you there in your background.
Exactly. That guy is guy is trouble. There you go.
We love you, Nicolas Cage.
Everything is left that's on the right when you're doing this, folks. All right. Microplastics. We got them everywhere. We love them. No, we don't. During the ocean race of the 2022-23 season, yacht sailors found microplastic concentrations up to 18 times higher than during the last race in 2017-2018. And some of them in the most remote parts of the ocean that you can travel to.
Mm-hmm.
This race has taken place. Have you heard of the ocean race before, Chuck?
I think so.
All right. Happens every 3 to 4 years since it began in 1973. They often, because they're going to such furthest points like Point Nemo, which is the exact spot on the ocean surface farthest from land, they go to these remote parts that scientists can't get to easily. Mm-hmm. So they team up with them. And while they're traveling to these parts, they collect water samples. And it's gotten worse and worse. If you haven't heard, microplastics, tiny piece of plastic shed from larger plastic products, unheard of a century ago. Today, they're found throughout the world, including inside the human body. Mm-hmm. And their health risks are still largely unknown. Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can find some stuff here. Another recent study estimated the number of microplastic particles in the ocean roughly at 170 trillion, or about 21,000 pieces of plastic per person on the planet.
Wow. You know, I know a big source of those is the, for the last 30 years, the bath soaps and stuff, like the body washes that have the little micro scrubbers in them. A lot of it's coming from, that's a big source of it.
Because it goes right into the closest river and right out to the ocean.
And they're non-biodegradable, and they go right through all the filters.
So they said there are some emerging technologies that might be able to help treat these microplastics or filter them. But meanwhile, governments are beginning to address the root of the problem by banning the worst offenders, which I haven't heard of anybody banning styrofoam. But that's what they say here. The worst offenders is styrofoam. Mm-hmm. We've seen the plastic bag thing, and traveling across the country several times now, the plastic bag thing is everywhere. But that barely touches the surface. And what I've always found surprising is that styrofoam isn't targeted. And then I was at it was a chili cook-off with politicians before the last election. And I was talking to one of the gentlemen who was running for a seat in the Maine Republican Party for, I guess I would say, to be, what do you call him? Maybe a congressman. I think they call him something else here. Anyways, that was one of his main things that he was pushing, was to ban styrofoam in Maine. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was kind of odd for someone to be on the Republican side that was really pro-climate, but everybody in Maine is that way. And, we actually have more lakes than Minnesota, even though they're known for their lakes, and so many bodies of water. And styrofoam's horrible, from the cheap beer coolers to the stuff they put in the docks. Very, very polluting. So,
well, and they make for packaging. They make the stuff that is corn based, and you get it wet, and it just dissolves into a goo. And it's biodegradable and safe.
Do you know that those packing peanuts, the biodegradable packing peanuts, you can actually eat them, and they were originally invented as a snack food, and people found them to be so bland they didn't sell well, and went out of business. But somebody must have picked up that patent, and they started using them in place of styrofoam. And why we pass these other dumb laws? Why not pass a law that says you can't use styrofoam? Period. It's over.
Right. I would agree to that. Yeah. My dog ate a whole box of those one time. You know what happened to the dog? Absolutely nothing. They were fine. Yep.
All right. Don't feed them styrofoam ones. See if the dog eats it so we can tell which one it is. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Right, don't do that. All right. I'll skip that one. It just isn't interesting enough. Massive hailstorm pummeled concert goers. It was happening. It was a concert for Louis Tomlinson, the show in Colorado on Wednesday night. He is a British artist. Injured nearly 100 people, with 7 taken to local hospitals. It was raining golf-sized hailstones during this concert, and people had to run for cover. One Twitter user wrote, "It was a straight out of a horror movie."
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm just imagining the drum set on stage.
That'd be horrible to get trapped in,
right? But were they playing the drums? Were the No.
All right.
No.
Something everyone would probably like to see. Turns out it was clickbait. It wasn't a real story. But it says, get ready for a Zuckerberg versus Musk cage fight.
Oh, I would pay for that awesome? On pay-per-view.
All right. People say they'd be totally in tune with Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg duking it out in front of the camera. The writer here says, I'm not the only one who would, based on the attention of the idea of the fight between the two tech billionaires is getting on social media. Says it all started when Musk reacted to a report about Meta's new Twitter rival. Apparently, Meta Chief Product Officer Chris Cox said the company has been hearing from creators and public figures who are interested in having a platform that is sanely run.
Mm-hmm.
Someone told him to be careful because Zuckerberg does jujitsu now. He says, Musk said, I'm up for a cage match. Zuckerberg posted a screenshot of the exchange as a story on his Instagram account and said, send me the location. Apparently, Zuckerberg has been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for around a year now, and his efforts have been well documented. He has even competed in a tournament back in May and won gold and silver medals. Really?
I put my money on Musk, though. I think he's crazier.
Yeah, so as for Musk, he said he has a move called the Walrus. Right?
See?
And this is a move, he says, where he just lies on top of the opponent and does nothing.
Wow. Would Bezos and Richard Branson be in the undercard?
Yeah, we could come up with a whole like the opening fights. We could come up with a bunch more to add to that. All right, and he is kind of girthy, so I like that. The Walrus. That's one thing. If you saw him on Saturday Night Live, Musk can be funny. Most of the stuff he says isn't, but he can be funny. All right,
which one would be the first
let's
to throw
see.
sand in their
It looks like it's not going to happen, but we can all hope. All right, maybe we could do it with claymation.
Yeah.
If they do put on a fight, you'll be notified by this sound.
Nerd alert!
Or perhaps this one.
Well, if it isn't the leader of the Wiener Patrol phoning up on his nerd lesson.
All right. I think pretty much. Oh, we got one more. Amazon. FTC, as in Federal Trade Commission, has went after them and sued them in court, claiming that they duped millions of Americans into its paid subscription Amazon Prime service without their consent. So be looking for a class action suit and some retribution.
So I guess the undercard would be Bezos versus the FTC.
Yes. All right. Amazon, it says, has used manipulative, coercive, or deceptive user interface designs known as dark patterns to trick consumers into enrolling automatically and renewing Prime subscriptions. Civil penalties and a permanent injunction to prevent future violations are on the way. Kind of cool, I guess. At least they're looking out for us.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. Back to our community calendar. I want to mention this one more time, and then Chuck, I'm going to let you talk about Art in Full Swing, because I know you're closely associated with that. Tasty Fundraiser is today, and this is for our summer food program for kids. This is their only annual fundraiser, and this is how they build funds to feed the kids each summer. It happens today at the Quartzsite Brewery between 3 and 7. It is a silent auction. Go and bid crazy. All right. Also, tomorrow on the list, Farmers Market. That goes from 11 until 3:30. And then you missed a really good interview yesterday, if you weren't listening. And that was with Brad Schaefer and Virginia Thomas. Did I get that right?
Correct, yep.
And they were with the Chihuahua Community Creamery.
Yeah.
And they are having their grand opening at 1:00 on Saturday. And boy, we got a lot of hits on that video.
Yeah.
And lots of kudos from yesterday. And it was a really good interview. It's in the second half of the show. You can check that out on Facebook and YouTube. And that was yesterday's video. Chuck,
and they're going to be sampling milk and cookies.
Say that again?
Milk and cookies at the
Yes.
at the opening for the dairy.
And tours of all the very expensive equipment they bought to pull this off.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chuck, you know a lot about this, I think, because it's part of the creative district. But a big deal going on at the golf course for 2 days this weekend. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's the Art in Full Swing event. There's going to be live art happening on the green from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. The artists are going to be unleashed on the golf course. Running wild, making art. And then on Sunday, that's June 25th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., those artists are going to be in the country club, the Rusty Putter, and they're going to be displaying the work that they did previously the day before. They're going to be bringing some other pieces they had previously made. They'll have stuff for sale. There's going to be, drinks and specials and everything. It's gonna be a fun one. The last event that we did similar to this was the Light in the Darkness over the winter, and it was a fantastic event. And we're hoping this one is as well.
And this is cool though, because they get to be like out on the green, out there in nature, painting. People come check it out, and then Sunday come back and see what they finished. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool, and we've got a lot of great artists on board. They're all local artists. It looks like the weather might cooperate with us. That was always a concern.
Definitely going to cooperate.
Yeah.
All right. So you got Art in Full Swing on Saturday from 10 to 1, and then the grand opening of the new Chihuahua Community Creamery. That's a new nonprofit as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's at 1:00 as well. And then Sunday back at the golf course for Art in Full Swing again between 2 and 6. They had to give them a little time span to finish those paintings, I imagine.
Yeah. And to get everything turned around and set up and have the volunteers set everything up inside the clubhouse.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. I think the other one I had is that already passed? I'm trying to find the dates real quick because I don't want to shout it out. Oh, it doesn't happen until 6:30 tonight. This was sent in by Joan. It's the Eagle Mountain Bible Church and the Addie New Life Christian Center teaming up to bring inspiring messages, lunch and snacks, and a video feed from a popular Christian woman's program. It's called Valiant Women, and her name is Leslie Ludy. And this is happening there's 2 sessions tonight, 6:30 to 8:30, and then Saturday, 6:30 to 8:30, and then Sunday, 9 to 5. It says the 23rd and the 24th for that. So we'll get that out before the weekend.
Yep.
And that is a look at things that are happening around our area, unless I missed something, Chuck.
That's all I have on my calendar.
All right. Well, then I'm going to pick on you a little bit.
Okay. Do it.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I have them answered immediately.
If not pasta. All right, first one. Gonna be really tough, Chuck.
Okay.
6% of us are so afraid of this, we never do it.
I'm going to say driving.
6%. Oh, that's a good guess, but it is not driving.
Flying?
It is, in fact, flying.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I get it, though. I actually would have thought the number might have been a little higher than 6%.
Are you okay with flying?
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Yeah, really, just like coming back to visit and train you and stuff. You owe me because I hate flying.
But you drove back, so that was something.
I drove back, so that was we brought Marion's car back, so that was a lot better. But then after driving literally all the way across the country, I think the only way we could have added some more miles if we would have went in Washington to Florida. It was about 3,100 miles, and I think it took us 6 days. We sloughed off a little, but not much. We stopped and visited one of her kids, but that's pretty grueling too. It's a tough choice. You say, do I want to drive across the country or, fly in planes for 16 hours? It's a tough choice.
Right. Well, then you did a bunch of loop-de-loops and stuff too, right?
Yeah, we dropped down to South Dakota and then came back up, so that we added a few miles on that. So actually, we probably did about 3,600 miles.
Yeah. I haven't flown since I've lost weight, and I think that's a big thing. Flying when you're heavy is not just uncomfortable; it's embarrassing. When you can't not touch the person next to you, and they're like pulling away, giving you dirty looks because you're gross, and like sneering at you. That happens. And it's I haven't flown yet since I've lost weight, and I'm interested.
So I think it's it's either Australia, maybe Austria. One of the there's a country out there now. It is weighing people before they can get on the plane.
Wow.
And will make them buy 2 seats if they need it.
Wow.
Another strange thing I've noticed that I always thought they used to have to be on the bottom is people buying plane tickets for their dogs and cats and having them in the seat next to them.
Yeah. You've always had to buy a ticket for that, haven't you?
Well, I thought they rode. I'd never seen it, and I haven't flown in probably till this past year. I hadn't flown in probably 15 years, but it was really strange. I've never seen animals in the cabin. And what about people like me that might have an allergy to that dog, and now I have that dog sitting next to me?
Yeah.
I didn't pay for that.
What if the dog's barking the whole time?
Yeah, growling at people, stealing snacks, staring at people across the aisle because they're eating. Yeah. So, but then I had a buddy and he needed to fly, and he has said, "Well, I heard you can get dogs on planes. Can my cat come?" And they said, "Yeah." And he said it was only a flight from Seattle to Wenatchee, but he said there was hardly anybody on the plane, and the attendant said he could take the cat out of the carrier and let it roam around the plane, and he did.
What?
Yes.
Wow. You seem so excited about that, Scott.
Yeah, and if you want to fly on that particular airline because you love cats, it's called Lucky Airways. Oh, excuse me. Hope you get lucky. I don't know. It just doesn't seem safe to let a cat walk around the plane.
No.
All right. Average adult does this to other people 22 times a day, Chuck.
Oh, it does it to other people 22 times a day.
Something you do to other people 22 times a day. I have a feeling your wife does this to you more than anyone else.
Gives them dirty looks?
Ooh, you're getting warm. Average adult does this to other people 22 times a day. It's something you say.
Secret, burst into flames, burst into flames.
That is not it.
No, okay. Again, that's just my wife. You're using my wife as an example, Scott.
Okay. Now, I'm just saying, perhaps she says this to you 22 times a day.
Excuse me?
You're getting warmer.
Or thank you?
Let's see if I can do it in the proper tone so you get it and don't forget, okay?
Okay.
No.
No. Tells other people no 22 times a day?
Yeah. Yeah. Does she say no to you 22 times a day?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Average adult does this to other people 22 times a day. He says no.
Huh.
And sometimes learning to say no is a valuable thing, and you will learn that, Chuck, as you manage the radio station.
Oh, no, I know.
Sometimes you got to say no.
No, Scott.
This wasn't one of those times, Chuck.
Okay, I was just practicing.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let's see if I can dig a couple more up. Try and stump you. Each year in the United States, 15,000 fires are started by this thing attached to the wall of your house.
A window?
No, sir. Fires started by windows. Is that a possibility?
Well, yeah, if the sun hits it, right? Like a magnifying glass? Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. By this thing attached to...
Hold on.
Nerd alert!
All right.
Your electric box.
No, sir.
No.
It smells. Sometimes good.
A barbecue? A grill? It's not really attached to your house.
No, I said it's attached to the wall of your house.
Inside or outside?
Both.
What?
Goes through the wall. Marion's yelling plug-in. That's not it either.
Air conditioner?
I said it smells good if you're on the outside and you get a whiff of it. It's a big hint.
Fireplace.
Big hint. I guess, you know what? That is attached to the wall of your house, and it does smell good.
Yeah.
All right. Nobody is posting on Facebook to help you. I'm so sorry.
I have
Chuck.
no idea.
Clothes dryer vent.
Oh.
15,000 fires a year, which is Scott's reminder to tell you to clean out your clothes dryer vent. Come on.
Yep.
I don't know. I was just making that up. Average kitchen has 6 of these.
Pot holders.
I'm going to say, I'll give you a big hint.
Okay.
It's a special kind of coffee mug, and the average kitchen has 6 of them.
Insulated to-go mugs? To-go cups?
Fair guess, but no.
No.
That's one.
And it's a special type of coffee mug.
Yeah.
A
different kind of coffee mug.
Like a thermos?
No. Usually it's a cheap coffee cup.
A ceramic mug?
You like a mug, right? Okay. Now, what kind of mug is it? Average kitchen has 6 of them.
Something with a logo on it?
There you go,
okay.
Chuck. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how a brain works.
It took a while to get there.
It's okay, Chuck. This is for you.
Hail to the king, baby.
All right. Let's see if you can keep it. Average person uses one of these 10 times a day.
Oh, my coffee mug. No. 10 times a day.
Yeah.
Your cell phone?
Average. No. You're. Oh, that would give it away. It'd be something like the fridge. Okay, that you go up to and possibly open a door. You're going to do it 10 times a day.
But it's not your fridge.
It's not your fridge.
It's not your fridge.
Why would I give you the answer, Chuck?
The front door?
The front door, no.
Bathroom door.
When you do this, your hands might be sticky.
I just said the bathroom door, Scott. The kitchen sink.
No, we're looking for trash can.
The trash can. Oh my goodness.
How about this? I'm going to give you 3 crazy laws, and you tell me which one I made up.
Okay.
In Michigan, it's against the law for a lady to lift her skirt more than 6 inches while walking through a mud puddle. In Brussels, Belgium, all cheese must be sold in a brown paper wrapping tied closed with white cord. Or women in Carrizozo, New Mexico, may not legally be seen in public with hairy legs.
I'm going to go with the hairy legs.
You're going to go with hairy legs? No. In Carrizozo, New Mexico, you may not legally be seen in public with hairy legs, Chuck.
Wow. Is that for women or men too?
It doesn't say. No, it says women. It does say women at the beginning. Okay. Wow. Thought I was going to have to shave my legs again.
Right?
All right. Second guess?
Then I'll go with the raising your skirt 6 inches.
You know, and I tricked you because you would think it would be one of those, but no, it's actually in Belgium. My lie was you don't have to put cheese in a brown paper bag and tie it closed with white cord. Why would you have to do that?
Well, you know, cheeses and wines have weird stipulations and laws around them, you know, like very strict, very specific about what type of cheese or where the region and all that. So
yeah, that's true.
You never know.
That's true. They're pretty cheesy about their cheese in Wisconsin too. Just saying.
Yeah, they are.
All right, 8 and 10 dog owners do this.
Have a birthday party for their pets.
Wow, 10,000 points. First guess.
Ooh. I know because our dog's birthday was last week.
Oh,
and we got we had ice cream and presents. Yeah, it was fun. It was special.
Had a dog party.
It was special dog ice cream.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nerd alert!
Oh, there goes another one. This part of the human body lives just 7 to 10 days.
Your skin.
No, it's in your head.
Your brain cells.
Maybe yours. Part of the human body lives just 7 to 10 days. It's in the lower part of your head.
In the lower part of your head.
Yeah.
Your salivary glands or your The bacteria in your mouth?
No and no, but you're in the right spot.
The bacteria in your nose.
No, I said you were in the right spot, and you just left your mouth.
Okay. That's the problem with me. I things always leave my mouth that I don't mean to.
Yeah.
Only lives 7 to 10 days. I'm gonna. I have no idea, Scott.
Taste buds.
Taste buds. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Which is true, Chuck? The most common speed limit in the U.S. is 25, or the most popular car color in Germany is brown?
I'm gonna go with the most popular speed limit is 25.
Pretty easy.
Yep.
Color of red bricks comes from paprika, or lemons have more sugar than strawberries?
I'm gonna go with lemons.
And you're right again, Chuck. Let's see if you can keep it up. Australian actor Chris Hemsworth is co-owner of 22 Quick Lube stores in the western United States, or the creator of the waffle iron did not actually like waffles.
I'm gonna go with waffle iron.
And you're right again,
Okay.
Chuck. Wow. All right. The dot on top of the letter I is called a tittle, or Boston baked beans were invented in Philadelphia.
I want to say tittle. You just leave that statement as it is.
And Chuck, you got it 100%. There you go.
Yay.
Big round of applause for Chuck Ritchie. When we come back, it's birthdays all the way through the weekend, even Monday, even though it's not a weekend.
Wow.
All right. And, of course, we always wrap things up with odd news. We'll also take a look at this weekend's movies. Stick around. It's Northern Lights Public Radio with Scott and Chuck.
We'll be right back.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns. I said, put Buddy back in the box. Without disappointment, you can't appreciate victory. Hail to the baby.
He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing.
It's 8.
Parents are probably idiots too.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chihuahua. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This is KCHW, Chihuahua, 102.7 FM.
You're listening to 102.7 KCHW, Chihuahua.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast for June the 22nd, 2023. I'm Mike Clifford. Oregon makes it easy to register to vote, and Eric Tegetthoff reports a bill in Salem is looking to make it even easier.
Oregon has a motor voter system of automatic registration that registers voters and keeps election rolls current through the Department of Motor Vehicles. House Bill 2107 would add another agency to automatically register and update voter information, the Oregon Health Authority. Head of Common Cause Oregon, Kate Titus, says it could aid thousands of unregistered voters.
By having one more agency that's working to keep eligible Oregonians registered to vote, it helps close that gap of people who are not registered and don't have the option then to vote.
Titus says thanks to mail-in voting, Oregon already has a high participation rate in elections, and at 62% had the nation's highest voter turnout in the 2022 midterms. HB 2107 has passed the House and is in the Senate as the session winds down this week.
Now from CNN, Special Counsel John Durham defended himself Wednesday amid sharp criticism from Democrats. He also rejected former President Trump's attacks on the former Attorney General Bill Barr, who appointed Durham to conduct the investigation into the FBI's Russia probe. CNN reports despite repeated claims from Trump and Republicans that the Biden administration has weaponized the Justice Department, Durham said there wasn't any political interference with his work. Durham also testified Attorney General Merrick Garland, a Biden appointee, didn't block any of his moves, didn't reach out to discuss the probe, and didn't meddle with the investigation. Next to South Carolina, where one organization is shining a spotlight on health equity for all communities.
Beaufort Jasper Hampton Comprehensive Health Services was founded in Beaufort County in the 1960s by community members to address sanitation and health issues. While health concerns have evolved, Dr. Faith Poquet, president and CEO of Comp Health, emphasizes that tackling public health challenges remains at the core of the health center's mission to deliver positive outcomes for underserved communities.
So having health care that of good quality, that's affordable, accessible, and comprehensive, that's a part of our mission. And it is important to be able to improve the health of the entire community.
According to Poquet, their strong focus on underserved populations in Beaufort, Jasper, and Hampton is instrumental in promoting the overall well-being and health in the area. Beaufort County is ranked as the healthiest among all 46 counties in South Carolina by Niche.com's County Health Rankings. Shantia Hudson reporting.
This is Public News Service. New laws offering greater protections for New Mexico's LGBTQ community are taking effect in the coming days as diversity is celebrated during June's Pride Month.
A new state law establishes a broader slate of protections for LGBTQ people by defining gender and sex and expanding existing definitions of sexual orientation and gender identity. Marshall Martinez, executive director of Equality New Mexico, cites polling that found 71% of residents say they have an LGBTQ family member, coworker, friend, or neighbor.
What we know is that when people have that close personal relationship with a member of the LGBTQ community, they tend to lead with love, acceptance, and affirmation.
Martinez notes more than a dozen New Mexico communities have held Pride events, including in such rural areas as Gallup and Farmington. I'm Roz Brown.
Meantime, cities across Virginia and the U.S. are working on using various forms of renewable energy to bolster their climate goals. Perspective from Edwin J. Vieira and this Context News Solutions Journalism Network collaboration.
Virginia uses more than 34,000 watts of community solar, but it's used in only a few places. Charlie Coggeshall with the Coalition for Community Solar Access says it's important to provide what is often called climate equity.
It's something that can reach any customer, regardless of whether you are wealthy or if you're a commercial customer or if you're a low-income customer who doesn't own their home, who rents and struggles with their energy costs. Community solar is actually a very ideal opportunity to reach those customers in particular.
Some cities are taking action to make their climate initiatives more equitable. The City of Richmond's Climate Equity Action Plan aims to achieve a 45% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, while working to include those who are most affected by climate change when policies are made.
Finally, Deborah Van Fleet lets us know almost 1 in 3 adults in Missouri lives with a disability, which can sometimes make navigating the world a challenge.
People First of Missouri has been helping them advocate for themselves since it was formed in Kansas City in the 1990s. Its president, Roger Crome, says the mission is to help people live the life they want in the community. He thinks what makes the most difference for members is the relationships they form with others at all levels of self-advocacy, leading to what he calls a natural mentorship.
You've got some that come in that don't even realize that they can really speak up, don't feel like they can speak up in the beginning, and then they become leaders on projects and in the organization.
Most of the 20 People First chapters across the state meet once a month.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Don't forget, you can listen online too at kchw.org.
Got to turn my microphone up, and we're back. Welcome to the KCHW Morning Show. I'm Chuck Ritchie, and here with Scott Allen. How was your break, Alan? Did you have a good one, Scott?
I did. It was funny because I thought we were starting a Chinese video because I could see your mouth moving, but no sound.
I called you Alan too. We're missing Alan today.
We are. We're missing our third amigo. He bought himself a self-driving fifth wheel, and he's out testing it out.
It's got cruise control.
Did you tell him it's not self-driving?
I'm hoping he figured that out.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the Anchorman movie. I can't remember whether it was one or two because I watched them both. Is when the whole news team's in the RV and the RV is going down the road, and then they realize that Will Ferrell was supposed to be driving, and I got it on cruise control, and then it goes off the highway.
And then it just goes right into the slow motion. There's like a bowling ball flying around. Yeah,
he had a collection of bowling balls in the RV.
That's right. And then the second movie they did it again.
I like it. All right, as we start part two, Chuck Ritchie has, I believe, local birthdays going through the weekend.
I do.
I even prepped him.
Right? We have for today, we have Jake Campbell, Cassidy Poor with birthdays, and John and Mary Jean Herda have an anniversary. Ben and Ashley Kersey and Daniel and Barb Prosek also have anniversaries today.
All today?
It's a lot of anniversaries today. I feel the love in the air. That's what it is.
All right. And we're not doing a show tomorrow, so you want to roll out Friday and just kind of go through the weekend? Absolutely. We'll give everybody a heads up who's having birthdays that they can pick on.
Absolutely. We have nothing for tomorrow.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, we have Eric Blackburn, Tanner Lane, Nathan Arneson, and Barb McGee all have birthdays. It's a busy one. Then on Sunday, we have James Campbell, with a birthday, and Jeff and Kayla Van Doren with an anniversary. Then on Monday, we have John White, Emmett Peters with birthdays, and Jerry and Linda McCanna and Tom and Diane Rancourt have anniversaries.
All right. You know them, love them, see them around town, point and laugh. Tell them we talked about them on the radio.
That's right.
All right. Let's do just a few celebrity birthdays for today. It's Chris Christopherson, turning 87.
I didn't know he was
Lindsay
still
Wagner, who played the Bionic Woman, 74. Elizabeth Warren, 74. Graham Greene from Dances with Wolves is 71. Cyndi Lauper, get this, 70. Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead movies and the Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. He's also produced the new Evil Dead horror movie that's out. Right. He is 65 and probably there was that the third one, Army of Darkness, which was also an Evil Dead movie. Had both of the Raimi brothers directing it, and it kind of turned into comedy horror. I'm a big fan of those movies.
My stepson worked at a little podunk diner in Portland for a while, serving breakfast, and Bruce Campbell sat in his section every day for breakfast for like 6 months. Yeah.
Amy Brenneman is 59. Carson Daly, 50. Looking ahead. I don't have the weekend ones. I just have the ones for today. What am I? I already think it's Friday since I know we're not working tomorrow. So a little history for this Thursday, the 22nd. Chuck Ritchie. It happened today.
In 1882, the air-conditioned rocking chair was patented. It had a propeller fan mounted overhead that was turned by the chair's motion. The faster you rocked, the faster the fan turned. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I like it.
In 1847, the donut was invented. Ooh, and the world was never the same.
That's right.
In 1945, the World War II battle for Okinawa ended. 1,200 12,520 Americans and 110,000 Japanese were killed in the 83-day campaign. Wow. In 1970, Richard Nixon signed a measure lowering the voting age to 18. Okay. I'm going to skip the next one. 1984, the movie Karate Kid opened in American theaters. Okay. Good one. 1992, Supreme Court unanimously ruled that hate crime laws that ban cross-burning and similar expressions of racial bias violate free speech rights.
Okay.
Oh, in 2009, John and Kate Gosselin, stars of the reality TV series John and Kate Plus 8, announced their plans to divorce.
Aww.
And people cared. In 2015, Nikki Haley, then governor of South Carolina, announced support for the removal of the Confederate flag from state grounds. In 2017, an article published in Newsweek, Prince Harry claims no one in the UK royal family wants to be king or queen. Would you want to be? I wouldn't. In 2020, the U.S. government data showed African Americans are 4 times more likely than whites to be hospitalized for COVID-19, highlighting racial disparities for the pandemic. Okay. 2022, Tony Siragusa, the NFL defensive tackle who became one of the game's biggest players and personalities, died at the age of 55.
Wow. I can't believe you skipped the one from 2003.
Oh, you know what? Because I wasn't about to pronounce that word. I'll read it.
So here's what I do. A mayor in a town in Spain declared Thursday's Ladies' Night and threatened to fine any man strolling about town in the evening. It was in an attempt to encourage them to stay home and do the chores. Ladies in the town of 14,000 were thrilled. Men, not so much.
Wow. That would have been a good one. I'm going to try it. Torredonjamino.
That's right. Special events for today. Chocolate Eclair Day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. HVAC Tech Day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's HVAC stand for?
Heating, ventilation, and cooling, I believe.
Ooh, you're right.
Yeah.
Onion Rings Day.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid Guy Things Day.
Isn't that every day? Come on.
And World Rainforest Day. Coming to the number of the day, it's Chuck Ritchie.
The number of the day is 401. Do you know what that is, Scott?
No.
That is the number of IMAX screens in North America.
Oh, you know how many of you are here in Maine?
0.
All right, we move on to bits and breaks today, and I start off with a quick joke. It's a guy who comes into work late one morning, sleepless and a mess, and he says, "What happened to you?" That's a coworker. He says, "I was up nearly all night. My wife and I had a terrible argument. She became historical." And he says, "You mean hysterical?" And he says, "No, historical. She went over absolutely everything I've done wrong over the past 25 years. Hysterically historical.
They never forget.
That's right. 4 things you didn't know yesterday with Chuck Ritchie.
Mm-hmm. Burger King's original name was Insta Burger King. Huh. I like Burger King better.
Yeah.
There are as many chickens on this planet as there are humans.
Really?
I would hope there were more chickens than humans, because, you know. In 2003, descendants of the Hatfield and McCoy families gathered in Pikeville, Kentucky to sign a truce signaling the end of a feud which started back in the 1870s over a pig. The dog that played Toto in Wizard of Oz was paid $125 a week during filming.
Uh-oh.
For the time, that was probably really good.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. According to a survey, first date don'ts. Don't have bad breath.
Mm-mm.
Don't be loud and obnoxious. Don't talk about your ex-partner. Don't profusely sweat. Don't constantly check your phone. Don't talk politics. Don't be social media obsessed. Don't vape. Huh. They don't spend the date blowing your own trumpet. Don't suspend your date being a bit too touchy-feely. Don't spend your date failing to ask the other person about themselves. And don't talk so much they can't get a word in. There you go. If you're going on a date those weekends, follow that.
What's a good thing you and Marion had your first date online, right?
We did. We had our first date online. Can you believe that? All right. The only time in my life I've ever said, thank you, Facebook.
Aw. That's because I do love you two together. You two are adorable. I love it.
Yes.
I ship it.
It's too bad we can't have kids so we could make more little people. So, literally, Chuck. So she's 4 inches shorter than me, and it's the first time in my life I've had a girlfriend that wasn't taller than me.
Wow, I didn't even notice that. Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm finally a big man and not in girth,
You're always big in my heart, Scott.
Oh,
and that's what matters.
Baby girl names that used to be popular.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck?
Yeah, so if you're looking through your family history hoping to come across a name that will make your little girl stand out, these are a few formerly popular names that are practically non-existent now, according to the Social Security Office, which tracks every new baby name. This one, Betty, has been on a steady decline since 1940. That's a shame. I like Betty. Ethel, strong showing during the 1890s, hitting 8th place. It slipped to 12th place in the 1900s and then down to 80th the following decade and has never recovered.
Ethel. Yeah, I don't know any Ethels.
I've known a couple and they were all really mean. I knew an Ethel that was like 18 and she was like a sassy 90-year-old woman. Yeah. Tammy. This female moniker skyrocketed out of nowhere in the 1960s and landed in the 13th spot, but by the 1990s it was no longer in the top 200 and has all but disappeared since then.
That's like Scott, very popular in the 60s. In my homeroom in like the 5th grade, 4 Scotts, 3 of which had the middle name Allen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Dorothy in the 1920s. Dorothy was all the rage. It was way before the Wizard of Oz, and it peaked to the number 2 spot. But since then, this name has slipped significantly. It's also a good name. I like Dorothy. Ida. This classic name was the 7th most popular female name during the 1880s, but then slipped into disuse in subsequent decades.
You know why? Is because of the jokes. Ida don't know. Ida don't care. Sorry.
Idaho. Mildred. The name peaked at 6th place during the 1910s and held strong through the 1920s, but then went on a rapid decline.
No, it's too close to mildew.
Mildred's, I don't know. Edna. It never quite reached the top 10 in popularity, but it was a strong contender from the 1880s all the way through the 1920s before it started sounding old-fashioned. And next one is Gladys, which managed to crack the top 20 during the turn of the century, but it dropped off by the 1910s. Florence, for almost 5 decades, Florence managed to stay in or very close to the top 20, but by the 1930s, the name was losing favor. Florence is a good, strong name, too. Bertha. In the 1880s, this was the 8th most popular female name for the entire decade, and then took a slow downturn.
Wow, you think it took a massive downturn.
Right. I always picture Bertha as like some sort of self-defense device. That's what you would name.
So you call your backyard security system?
Yeah.
With the moat and the flamethrower?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one goes in my backyard because of Bertha.
Get the remote. We need Bertha.
What is something that everyone looks stupid doing? Chuck will demonstrate in the studio as I read these.
Here I am.
Chasing after something that is being blown away by the wind always looks stupid, right?
Always. Every time.
Oh, this one's perfect. Standing or sitting awkwardly while everyone sings happy birthday to you. Chasing a ping pong ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think you look dumber chasing a football because it can bounce in any direction.
And then half the time you accidentally kick it while you're trying to pick it up.
Yeah, or it bounces back and hits you.
You look really dumb.
Scott getting out of the back seat of a 2-door car.
There's no graceful way to do that.
No.
Yeah.
Scott trying to take off his pants without removing his shoes. I was in a hurry.
Did you forget or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Picture this one: walking through a cobweb that no one else sees, and then waving your arms around to get rid of it off your face and body. This always looks funny on kids going to school. Running with a backpack on.
Always looks dumb.
And then looking for a photo to show on your phone, but not being able to find it. Or looking for a photo on your phone and then showing one you don't want to.
Looking for anything on your phone you can't find really makes you look stupid.
That's right. All right, Chuck Ritchie with a possible grilling tip.
Possible grilling tip?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I am not even there, Scott. I don't even know where we are.
Oh, you just kept scrolling down from the other ones and it should be there. But I can do it.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, have you ever heard of this grilling tip, Chuck? You put ice cube in the middle of a hamburger patty, fold the meat around it, and then grill it. That way the ice keeps the patty moist so it doesn't dry out.
I have heard of that one.
Think it works?
I don't know. I see people doing it, but I have no idea.
All right. Did you catch up or do I need to keep going?
No, but it is not loading anything past the female names.
All right.
Huh.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
These are kind of fun, though. What are the most outrageous snacks that people have snuck into a movie theater? And then the people on the internet posted. First one, a can of corn.
A can of corn.
I don't think that's outrageous at all.
No.
Can of corn. A large sandwich from Firehouse Subs and a 6-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade. Where do you put all that? You have to be a really big man.
Hail to the king, baby.
2 cheeseburgers, 2 medium fries, and 20-piece McNuggets snuck into the movie theater.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
All right. Here's one. It says 6 of us smuggled in a case of beer. So we wouldn't finish. So when we would finish a beer, we would put the bottle on the floor, which would get knocked over eventually, and roll all the way down to the front of the theater with a very loud, distinctive clank. The audience loved it.
I'll bet they did.
I've seen that happen at a movie theater before, and everybody did laugh. All right. 4 large to-go boxes full of Chinese food and 4 large drinks, all in one purse.
Nice.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah. One person says they stuffed an 18-inch deli sandwich down the sleeve of their winter coat. And a 12-piece bucket of KFC with sides. How do you sneak that into the theater?
That is admirable.
Wow.
You know, we went to the theater last week and we had gotten drinks, like boba drinks and coffee drinks and stuff. And we had just purchased them and realized, oh no, our movie's about to start. We got to hurry. And they were brand new and full. And we just asked the guy, look, we just paid a bunch of money for these. Can we bring them in? And he's like, I don't care. I don't think they care as much as they did like in the 80s and 90s, you know, or 70s when we were kids, you know?
It's a movie theater. Have you seen how busy movie theaters are lately? We're just glad you're here.
Right. Have you seen the prices in the lobby? No wonder.
I think opening weekend, couple big shows, The Flash and Elemental by Pixar's. Mm-hmm. It's got to be a sign they tanked. I don't think either one of them made over 30 million in their first weekend. So
Wow. Well, I'm not excited about The Flash. I'm just excited about Michael Keaton being Batman again.
That's why I would go see it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this real quick. It's what Scott thinks about in the shower, and I'm sorry. First thing I thought about in the shower this morning, why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle?
Because it's still wet, Scott.
Yes. I ponder this one to you, Chuck. Is it good if a vacuum really sucks?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
You never see a commercial for a microwave, yet everyone has one. Huh? You don't. When's the last time you saw a commercial for a microwave?
How do you know which one to get?
Yeah. All right. The word phonetic is not spelled phonetically.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The word Q is just the letter Q followed by 4 silent letters.
Mm-hmm. Waiting in line.
Q-U-E-U-E.
Waiting in line to not be heard.
A good friend will. This is the last one. No. I'll save that for last. Okay. A vehicle supposedly loses its value once it's driven off the lot, except when it's driven off the lot when it's out for a test drive. It retains its value somehow. It doesn't make sense. And this one's for you, Chuck, especially.
Okay.
A good friend will bail you out of jail, but a best friend will be in the cell with you.
Exactly. And ironically, what I think about in the shower, I think, what is Scott thinking about in the shower? Yeah.
Nerd alert!
Yeah, wow. Thanks, Chuck.
Oh, no!
That was weird.
again!
Slap some bacon
on a biscuit and let's go! We're burning daylight!
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, we always start off the odd news with the news attack where the first sentence is true and the next one's a big fat lie. Bonus for you odd news fans today. Yesterday, we didn't have time to do the wacky but true stories. You get double wacky stories today. As I said, though, we start off with the news attack and Chuck.
The first lab, I saw this. The first lab-grown meats have been given approval for sale in the United States. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Now my lunch is going to be even smarter than me.
So did you see how they were doing it?
I didn't want to. I didn't look into it that much. But now
what do they take a chicken cell, put it in a petri dish, and just keep cloning it till they have a hunk of chicken?
I don't know. But this poses an interesting question for like vegans and stuff. Is this actually considered meat because an animal wasn't harmed, or is it what is it even? I don't even know.
Makes me miss the good old days when my chicken only had a mother, not a research team. Twitter employees have sued the company after they didn't pay 2022 bonuses. Wow. I tried to read more about it, but on Twitter, I lost interest after the first sentence.
That's fair. Something happened. I don't care. If you have laryngitis, whispering doesn't help. A study revealed that whispering strains your vocal cords as much as yelling. A fact librarians are always trying to hide.
All right. President Biden's son, Hunter, agreed to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax charges that will likely keep him out of prison. However, his laptop is going to jail.
Google's developing an AI that can generate endless selfies. Because if there's one thing the internet needs, it's more pictures of my face eating a Hot Pocket.
You have that horrified look in the beginning because it's too hot and you burnt yourself. And then right in the middle, you have that horrified look because you broke a tooth on the frozen part.
Yeah, exactly. But somewhere in the middle there is pure ecstasy.
Yeah, that's right. In related news, mirrors have filed a class action lawsuit for unemployment benefits.
Wow. And a survey finds that 32% of adult Americans never floss. They would if it came in nacho flavor, though.
Oh, what flavor would you want your floss?
Mac and cheese?
All right, moving on to wacky but true. Residents of Texas neighborhood were surprised to wake up to find about 40 goats wandering through their yards and feeding on plants. Residents of Irwin Farms neighborhood in McKinney, Texas said the goats made an early morning visit to the yards and feasted on lawns, bushes, flowers. Goats were found to be owned by a company that rents out the animals to clear vegetation. The goats had escaped from a local property where they were clearing plants for a development project. Company replaced many of the damaged plants on the various properties. Well, that was nice of them to clean up afterwards.
Yeah, I could. If anyone has a goat, please bring it to my yard. Okay. Private message me for the address.
What's funny is one time I made a montage for goat roping, and I get to play it again.
If she fails us, we better get used to herding goats.
What's up, goat roper?
That one goat was in stereo. I could hear it in my headphones.
That was good. We should read the rest of these in a goat voice.
Okay.
No, we won't. A man in Vietnam was charged with falsifying a death notice to get time off work. The 26-year-old man paid $10 to put a false death notice about his father in a newspaper. The man then used the notice to get time off work so he could look for another job. His plan was foiled when his dad complained to the police that reports of his death were premature.
And you know he did this the day after Father's Day.
Did he? Oh, he did, didn't he?
It's horrible, yeah.
If you messed up on Father's Day, here's some good news. This Sunday is Dad's Day Do-Over. In a national survey, dads said the number one thing they wanted was a phone call from their kids. So this Sunday, grab your phone and call your dad's phone. Call his cell or his landline. Dads don't care.
I don't.
And if you really want to make up for your Father's Day blunder, then go for the Dad's Day Double Do-Over. Wrap a pair of his favorite tube socks in a plastic grocery bag and toss it on his front porch as you drive by while you're on the phone with him. Dad will love you even more.
I love you even more.
Celebrate Dad's Day Do-Over this weekend.
You got that.
I love it. I love it.
All right, on to Scotland we go, where a guy named John was just trying to help out a friend who'd had too much to drink. John was driving his friend home. They were pulled over for a traffic violation. John decided to give the officer a false name. That's when his drunk friend said, "That's not his name." Policeman had already figured it out, though, since he had his name John written on his knuckles.
Wow.
Yeah. Hold on.
He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing. Parents are probably idiots, too.
He's actually John Jr.
John. Wow.
Yeah.
All
right.
In the Philippines, drivers had to swerve to avoid a man asleep at the controls of a motorized wheelchair on a highway. Police who breath tested him allegedly found him to be 6 times the legal blood alcohol limit.
What's funny is that's not the first time that's happened.
Wow. Do you get a DUI, or is it if that's the only way you can get around?
You can get a DUI on a lawnmower. Just saying.
You can get a DUI on a horse, even.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Here you go.
The most beautiful thing I ever seen. That guy, he can get a wheelchair and roll himself home.
We could. All right. We'll do that some night. See if we can make it from the home to your house, Chuck.
Let's not.
Let's not.
Let's make it a hypothetical
Chicken.
experiment.
Chicken. All right. We've got a few more wacky but true stories for you. It's your turn, Chuck, if you're ready.
I am ready. Voting is underway in the People's Choice category for the world's ugliest dog.
Nope, you're not in the right spot there, buddy.
Wrong...
We're looking for wacky but true from yesterday.
I knew that even.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, in Germany, a driver blamed a bee flying up his pant legs for a car crash. He told police he lost control, swerved into oncoming traffic, and hit another car while trying to free the bee. There were no serious injuries, and the bee got away.
So there is no proof.
There is no proof.
All right. I've played this so many times, but there's something about this next movie drop that it makes me happy inside.
Bees! Bees! Bees in the dog! Bees everywhere! God, they're huge! They're ripping my flesh off!
I actually know somebody that got stung by a bee in the eye while driving and rolled their car.
Wow.
It's a thing. Yeah.
Wow. I once had a wasp come up. It came from the ground and got in my pant leg, like from the bottom, and went all the way up one leg and all the way down the other.
Shut up, Wesley.
Hold on.
Quiet! I can't have myself lie!
And if you have to ask, the answer is yes. Many times.
I want to know how we made it through the center is all I'm saying.
They were loose pants, Scott.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can go on with the show now. All right.
probably
In China, a man whose phone was stolen on a bus found it 2 weeks later while riding on the same route, but it was in the hands of a passenger standing next to him. The man recognized his phone by a distinguishing crack in the screen. When confronted, the thief ran off the bus, but was quickly stopped by a police officer.
Wow. You know how we know this wasn't in the United States?
What?
Because the police officer actually cared that his cell phone was stolen.
Yeah.
Surrender, come and lock me up.
I might have told this story years ago, but there was one time I had my identity stolen, and I was actually able to retrieve from the company where the shopping took place his IP address off a receipt, and I could track it to his IP provider, called the police in the town where the guy presided, and they wouldn't do anything about it.
Huh. Crazy.
And he said, and the response was, it was only $10. I said, yeah, $10 from me. How many other people had gotten hit that day?
Right.
And how I got it as I went through Spokane, I did the loop going in like say up Maple Street and hitting all the thrift stores or up Lincoln. And hitting all the thrift stores, going through downtown and coming back out. And I was using my fun money on my PayPal card.
Right.
And that's and at some point at one of the thrift stores, somebody cloned my card.
Wow.
And I didn't catch it. But it was really, to go through the effort to find out who it was and have proof of that person and have nobody care. Very, very disheartening.
Yeah. Well, if anybody tries to steal my identity, joke's on you. That's instant karma right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one's all you, Chuck.
Okay. A velociraptor statue was stolen from outside an arts and science center in South Dakota. The police were notified after a security officer saw 3 individuals carrying the statue away. Surveillance footage helped the police track the statue to a nearby apartment where they found it undamaged and sitting inside. The 3 suspects were detained on charges of grand theft. The statue is part of a Dinosaurs in the Wild exhibition.
Now, eventually, you do plan to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right?
That's what the people said that visited the museum. After her son died, Nancy Sauer's 2 great loves became shopping and cats. And according to a close friend, Sauer really, really loved to shop. During an estate sale at her Tampa home on Friday, around 5,000 pieces of jewelry were for sale. Sauer also had 7 Persian cats, and her will stipulated that they must remain in the home and that they receive an inheritance. Her will states that her home will not be sold until the last cat has passed away. Home is 4,000 square feet and is valued at about $2.5 million.
Wow.
All right. Here's what one of her nieces had to say.
Oh, each cat will live about 12 years. I can't wait. And each cat has 9 lives. That's 4 times 12 and multiplied by 9 times. No, it's those cats have got to go.
I was going to say,
I'm sorry, that was her nephew.
Before.
Can I do it over? Probably not.
I'm glad you played that clip because that is the exact movie I was thinking of.
Was it really?
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking I've seen this one. The mom falls in love with the alley cat. Yeah, they sing songs. It's pleasant.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, those cats have to go.
Right. They're all classically trained on the piano as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Police in Saanich on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, are on the hunt for a person who stole a massive wheel of Gouda worth a whopping $600. In a Facebook post, Crime Stoppers urge the mysterious cheese enthusiasts to get themselves out of the pickle they're currently in. Police are urging the thief to slice through their predicament and pay a visit to the police station.
Ooh.
Those are some good puns in there.
I know what happened to it.
You pooped in the refrigerator and you ate a whole wheel of cheese? How'd you do that? It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Yeah, here's $600.
Right?
All right. A minivan driver tried to pass a herd of bison blocking the road in Yellowstone National Park. Adult bison wasn't having it and rammed the vehicle, causing visible damage. Bison can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and run up to 35 miles an hour. They also have thick skulls that they use for ramming things, including other bison and minivans. Here's a word of advice.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
All right. Story from just down the street wraps up today's odd news, Chuck.
All right, Scott. Yeah, in your neck of the woods, police in Maine are on the hunt for a ram on the lam that has managed to evade capture for several days. The Cape Elizabeth Police Department said in a Facebook post the ram escaped several days ago while being temporarily relocated from an island to the mainland to graze.
Oh.
That's it for the escape plan. It's ruined.
Yes. All right,
have you
so
seen this
wrapping
sheep?
up our show for today, don't forget, we want you to get out and support the Tasty program. That's the summer food program for kids, and you can do that today by visiting the Quartzsite Brewery, where the Face of Resource Group is having a silent auction. That's going to go from 3 to 7. Get out and support the Tasty program.
Exactly.
Right.
And the Friday market's tomorrow, and then Art on the Green is this weekend up at the golf course, both days.
Yeah. All right, and we apologize. No show tomorrow, but we will be back on Tuesday right here for your morning show. Other than that, we leave you with happy wishes and this.
Tune in again tomorrow as we hear the Baroness Rothschild say,
Barry, guess how much change I've got in my nose?
Bye, everybody.
Who dares enter the sacred and awesome presence of the everlasting know-it-all?